21 years old, and currently I'm studying in the Department of Psychology at GCU Lahore. Today, what I'm going to talk about is what I consider is something we all encounter with at some point in our lives or on a daily basis. Let's see if anyone can guess what it is. So I'll ask you all a riddle, and let's see if anyone can figure it out. You experience it every day. Nothing can survive without it. But when someone consciously tries to accept it, you are there to destroy it. What is it? Yes, obvious. This is change. An innocent word, yet holding in itself such power. If realized, it can bring the toughest to their knees. Change is what grants a caterpillar the ability to fly. Change is what cracks the seed and let the tree grow. Biological changes are very well accepted and appreciated by nature and people as well. But psychological changes, on the other hand, pose a threat to society. Let's start by defining what change actually is. According to Arthur Ernest Davies, who beautifully described the concept of change as a gradual self-unfolding in which the self progressively becomes more conscious, not merely of itself, but to the ends towards it bends its energies. Wow. What an incredible definition of change it is. Yes, it is. This definition is actually relating the concept of change directly with the element of self-awareness. Self-awareness that guides you to utilize your energy in a right manner at a right place. The utilization of energy that shapes your routine, the routine that supports your lifestyle as a whole. So you can see that how much significance the element of change is having in supporting your lifestyle as a whole. And change occurs within you when you accept your imperfections and realize that the inadequacies in your behavior or personalities can be overcome by conscious effort. Change can be positive or negative. Either way, it alters you to become someone who is foreign to the people around you, the people close to your heart, right? So sometimes when you unveil yourself to the people around you, that you have really adapt towards the change that is very productive and that is very essential for you, it sometimes backfires. So the plain narrative that may other people, or I say their society holds against the people who undergo the process of self-realization in the name of change is like a deep, dark ocean whose toxic water drowns all the effort you have made to put into actions to the internal change that you have observed. Out of sheer ignorance, they label you fake. Change is more like an uncertain pathway, where you are unaware when you'll experience your next high or the next low. Some days you surround yourself with positive affirmations, while some days you trouble yourself with destructive thoughts. But nothing compares the devastation you face when you unveil yourself to the people around you, the people close to your heart, the people with whom you have the highest expectations, and they regard your journey of change as just being fake. This declaration crumbles your motivation to move forward with your new self and mostly results in a relapse. In short, these discouraging words let you succumb to your previous self. Therefore, it is important for us to realize that majority of our lives, we have been influenced by multiple personalities surrounding us. We are actually a product of many different individual identities combined together. So, to find our true self, to recognize our true identity, it is important for us to reflect on ourselves, on our personality, on our behavior, and implement the needed change where it is actually required, right? So, I encountered with such an experience and with such an event where I actually felt the need of change, the need of growth within me. Shifts were to be made in my attitude. And to say that it was difficult would be an underestimate. I'm the youngest one at my home, means I'm the most pampered child. Who else is the youngest one at home? Wow, we're a team. So you can relate, right? So being the youngest one at home means the most pampered child, right? And in school, the huge chunk of attention from friends was always there. But as I stepped out of school and went into college, the environmental conditioning got changed, just like a movie scene. The nature of interaction with the people at college got altered as well, because the conditioning of me as a student and as a human in college was far more different than the conditioning of me at school. It actually created an uneasy sort of situation for me. This uneasy situation within me led to a whirlwind of emotions that were to be tamed. And in order to do that, I needed to put things into the right perspective. I underwent a series of change that required quite a lot of mental struggle, because those changes were subtle and went unnoticed when acted out in front of people. I made a conscious effort to change myself and become a better version of me. When I became well acquainted with the new and improved me, I thought it is the time to slowly and gradually unveil myself to the people around me. It all started with me being not interested in idle talks or unnecessary dramatic situations that led to difference of opinions on matters personal and societal. This, may I tell you, wasn't taken well by the people around me. This became a huge setback for me, and the thought that I would never recover from it crossed my mind a gazillion times. People thought that it was just a phase, or maybe I was acting like somebody I wasn't. It wasn't easy getting this criticism and to accepting it. Neither was it easy getting over it. You know, during our struggle of mental processes, we don't only lose what is around of us, we also tend to lose what we have inside of us, our very own rare pieces, say some of our attributes. For instance, an adult who has some childish sort of attributes, right? And that adult enjoys being in that zone for some time, right? Just like that. Throughout the process of change and self-realization, I did not lose what was around of me. So apart from losing what I have lost, what I gained was far more greater. I have experienced the vast capacity of human mind to accept change. The capability of human mind to adapt to change is incredibly amazing. It is actually a resistivity and fear of being judged by others that we don't allow ourselves to adapt to change. We are sometimes aware that we need to change and there is something problematic, and we are actually aware that how we can fix it. But we give up on the idea of implementing the very needed change in ourselves just because of the fear of how people will react to it, or because of the fear of not being accepted anymore. Social acceptance has a vital role in ensuring our survival. I totally agree with this factor. But to give up on the idea of implementing the very productive and needed change in you just because of the fear that you will not be accepted by others, then tell me one thing, who will take a step forward to bring about a change? Actually, we think about change for ourselves. But on societal level, this individualistic struggle contributes a lot to make this society actually worth living, right? As cliche as it may sound, throughout the process of self-realization and change, I discovered that how actually we can accept the change and the criticism that comes along with it. And you all lucky lot will be the first one to hear this. I actually call this not so secret anymore secret. The 3-point rule of becoming your best self. But, moving into these 3 steps, let me say one thing. As a human, we admire some scientific methodology, say more like a machine. We admire some machine in front of us. And we want to encode all of our life problems into that machine, right? And what we expect? We expect that machine must give us the very concise and to the point solution to our problems. But psychology doesn't work like that. Emotions don't work like that. They don't function like that. Psychology provides you with the series having certain steps that you must follow. And what you need, actually you need to be continuous with those steps if you really want to cope with something problematic that is ongoing into your life. That takes a lot of patience, right? So talking about the 3 steps that I'm going to talk about. The first one is acceptance. In order to introduce something good within us or to remove something bad from us, at first we need to accept the fact that there is something wrong in the first place. We need to accept the factor that change is required within us because we want to gain a better version of ourselves, right? Accepting the fact that you need to change is not the only thing in this matter. You also need to accept the fact that most of the people around you won't always be on the board with it. They may not be comfortable with your change, and they may even criticize you. You need to keep your mind open for accepting such kind of reactions from the people around you. This will allow you to see and filter out the people who need to stay from those who need to go, right? With being said that, moving on to the second point, that is balance. It is absolutely not okay or healthy for you to cut off everyone that is around of you because of the change that you're experiencing right now. There is no point of imposing your truly built beliefs on the people that are around of you. You need to create a balance between the thought of yours and the thought of the people that are around of you. You need to develop a balancing attitude where you will feel safeguard, and you also can safeguard your own newly built beliefs without hurting the sentiments and point of view of other people as well. Creating a balancing attitude actually liberates you from the fear of not being accepted anymore. It liberates you from the previously set boundaries that we have in our society, right? The third, last, and most important point of the whole and entire process is being consistent in your growth. Internalizing and accepting change and developing a balanced attitude between your thoughts and the thoughts of other people provides you with a strength that enables you to bear some of the harshest remarks. But to become resistant and immune to destructive criticism is only possible by being consistent in your growth. You have found what you yearned for, right? Now you need to nurture it by not letting others degrade you, by ignoring useless remarks. The art of ignoring useless comments is very essential for survival, and be on the way of changing that you have already embraced in yourself. If you give up on the midday, if you give up in the midway, then the whole effort you have put so far in the process will all be in vain. You will succumb to your previous self. You will become a tree that bears no fruit. Then just take a moment and realize that why you have chosen to be on this path of change. Because your mind provides you with the strength that can filter out negative thoughts. Your heart actually is the armor that shields you from not taking the harshest remarks too much personal, or they actually can't control over you. Your heart doesn't allow that if you practice the psychological steps in a series, and you must be continuous on that. You must be consistent in your growth. I know it's very easy to sit back and preach about change, but to accept your flaws and act accordingly by implementing the needed change is something what ensures the individualistic contribution towards a better society. Because after all, it's all about the many individualistic contribution that we make that builds a better and worth living society. Because a better you is an impactful you. So we all must try to strive for the change that is actually needed within us in order to change the drift and the attitude of the society so that it can become more welcoming to more positive sort of changes. So this was my all conclusion, but I just recalled some of the very impactful words that I went through about last month in the Central Library here. Those words are, कोई मुकाम भी नामुमकिन हसूल नहीं होता, कोई मुकाम भी बेइम्तिहान नहीं मिलता. Thank you so much.